Hi, this will be a quick overview of the dynamic RayCast system and also a tutorial on how to set it up and how to use it. So what's all about? The system gives you the ability to test an object for intersection with array, just as with the Unity physics RayCast methods. The one main difference here is that it doesn't use colliders but rather uses a ray triangle intersection technique, and also you get perfect precision. One more thing, the lack of dynamic colliders could lead to higher number of skinned objects in the scene at the same time, because as you probably know, even primitives like the capsule collider can affect the performance a lot. So bear in mind that the system has also some minor limitations, and for more details about that, please download the documentation from the forum thread or the asset store. The first thing you have to do is to import the package. I already did it, and as you can see, it contains two folders, one documentation file and one readme file. If I open the plugins folder, you can see the system is inside. It contains 4 files, but we will use only three of them. The first and most important is the DRCS, which stands for Dynamic RayCast System. This is the core manager. The second one is the DRC mesh, which is for the dynamic meshes, and the third one is the SRC mesh script, which is for the static meshes. For the system to set it up properly, we will have to do a few things again. The first one is to create an empty game object. I will call it DRCS, and I will put the DRCS script on it. It has one parameter, but about this later. So the second thing we have to do is to create an object for the test. I will reset it and I will scale it a bit. I will remove the sphere collider because we don't need it, and because this is a static object, I will put the SRC mesh script as component. It has two parameters, one is for the renderer and one is for the transform. Okay, the third thing we have to do is to write a script that simulates the raycasting. I provide 2 scripts, and one of them is suitable for the demonstration. That's why I will use it. So I will select the camera, and as you can see, it's already loaded, but I will do it again to explain the parameters. So the raycaster script we need. Okay, the first one is for the raycast methods. I use enumerators to be able to fast switch between the methods. The first one, as I said, is for the raycast. The second one is for the ray creation. We can use constructors to create the array, or one of these helper functions. They are very useful because are used directly. I implemented them already. So I will use the mouse click function. The second one, just to explain, it finds the first active camera, that is stacked main camera, and shoot array from the center with direction the camera's transform forward vector. Okay. As I said, I will use the mouse click. The third parameter is the distance. You never have to set this to 0 because we will throw an exception. The next parameter is boolean, and you set this to true if you want the system to ignore the objects with colliders in the scene. We have here 2 visual parameters. And again, we have a layer mask, but I'll explain about this later. Now, the system is already set up, and if I press play, I will be able to shoot the sphere. First, I will shoot outside to show you nothing happens, and when I shoot the sphere, you see, you shot the sphere, and we have a hit point, and we have some visual effects. Yeah, the system is already set up, and it's really that easy. Now I'll show you how to set up dynamic objects. For that purpose, I have 2 models from the asset store. They're free to download. So if you want to download them, please check the readme file. Okay, the first thing I will have to do is to create again an empty game object to add the DRCS manager to it. Okay, first step is complete. Second step is to add components to the dynamic objects. Is the same as with the static objects, just this time the script we will have to add is the DRC mesh. It has also two parameters, so one for the transform and one for the skin mesh renderer. I'll set up in the other object. Okay, transform and the skin mesh renderer, and the third thing I have already set main camera with the raycaster. So I'll just show you that none of these characters has a single collider in the hierarchy. As you can see, they only have the bones, which are empty, which are game objects with transform component. And now I just want to disable these scripts. So just to show you that when I click now around the objects, nothing happens. When I click on them, also nothing happens. And now when I enable the scripts, you'll see I'm able to shoot them. You can see you shot the tyrant zombie. That's it. I'll show you now how to set up the system to work properly with colliders. There are some cases we want to take care of. First, we want to be able to detect if some wall or another collider object is in front of some dynamic object. Second, we might want our enemies to have a single capsule collider to be able to block the player, and in that case we will have to exclude them from the check by using a layer mask. And third, if we don't have a hit with an enemy, we will need to check for collider hit instead. We do this in the RayCast script by using the physics RayCast method in else if statement, and we have a hit with some collider, we will be able, for example, to instantiate a particle system at the hit point. As you can see now, I am able to shoot the enemies through the wall, which is not correct, and to fix that problem, the only thing we have to do is to select the manager and to set the layer mask to everything. Now you see that I won't be able to kill the enemies because I will have a hit with the wall, which fixes the problem. Second thing we might want is to put a single capsule collider to our enemies, because that way they can block the player. But one problem now, if we shoot them, we won't be able to kill them because the physics raycast will hit the collider. So to fix this problem, we have to create a new layer. I'll create one. Okay, we have to put the enemies in that layer, and one more thing, we have to exclude this from the manager, from the layer mask, and now we are able to kill the enemies even they have a single capsule collider. You see they're blocking the player, but I'll be able to kill them. Okay, and one more thing, like I'll demonstrate now, we don't have any particle systems when we shoot the walls. So what we have to do here is, when we write a script, we have to call a physics raycast method, like I mentioned, as else if statement, and we have to create a layer mask, just as in the manager. Remember, both masks should be the same, and that way I will set here to everything and exclude the enemies. So everything is now cleared. Now the enemies are able to block the player. The system is able to detect some objects with colliders and to spawn particle systems.